everyone, and welcome back to First Sip here at Elevated Beer, Wine, and Spirits. I'm Matt, this is Tom, and a few weeks ago we dove into the world of Oktoberfest beers. Today we're going to dive even further into that world with what a lot of people consider the gold standard brewery for Oktoberfest beers, Paulaner in Munich, Germany. And Tom, tell us about Paulaner, tell us about the varieties of Oktoberfest beers that we have here in front of us.
Definitely. You know, when I think about Oktoberfest and when I judge and kind of taste other Oktoberfests, I think that I often use Paulaners as a basis to go by. Is this sweeter than Paulaners? Is this darker? Is it lighter? There's a reason, it's become a famous thing, and it has a lot to do with Paulaner. Again, in Munich, Oktoberfest traditionally was a Bavarian celebration, royal wedding in Bavaria, and they've continued this tradition with the tents that you've seen, the parties that you've seen in Germany, and with Paulaner being a big piece of that. So they have this huge party, it's very world famous, and a big reason is how good the beer is.
Yeah.
So with Paulaner, we actually have two distinct styles of Oktoberfest. We'll taste the Wiesen first. The lighter beer in color, it's actually slightly more alcoholic, 6% ABV versus 5.8 with the Märzen. This is the official beer that they pour in the tents in Germany. So actually the most authentic for Paulaner's Oktoberfest is the Wiesen, the slightly lighter one.
Okay, I'm getting a first look at it, and like Tom said, very light, clear color. It definitely looks like I could put down a few steins of this. And as I'm getting a taste of it, very crisp, very refreshing flavor. And again, still feeling like I could put down a couple steins of this.
Something about the Oktoberfest style just leads itself to having a couple, I think. I don't know what that is, but it's kind of a specific yeast note from the lager. It's a very German feeling lager that you'll notice that. The Weizen a little bit lighter on the malts, of course, corresponding to that color. So a little less of that kind of caramely sweetness. A little bit cleaner finishing, a little bit lighter on the palate, although again, 6%. You gotta be careful with this beer. Very easy to drink.
Yeah, and it seems, Tom, like this is maybe a little bit more rare in the Oktoberfest styles that we find here in the U.S. these days. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty unique from Paulaner doing this style. Again, it is traditional from the tents out there. If you go out to the Paulaner tent, you'll be served Wiesen from a server carrying like 20 steins. An amazing feat.
Sounds glorious.
The more known style in the U.S. that everybody does, and also a traditional style, but we see more of from all the craft breweries here, is the Märzen style.
Tom, let me pause you right there. Before we move on to our next style, I think we need to cleanse our palates in a very Oktoberfest way. And
It's not a bad idea.
And I'm thinking, gosh, what would go well with this beer? Oh yes, pretzels, of course. Pretzels, a nice little palate cleanser in a traditional Oktoberfest style for us.
And it's a lot of fun with the Oktoberfest, the traditional German foods, pretzels, your sausages, your bratwurst. Great to have with these beers. They really kind of interact well, whether it's the kind of bready saltiness of a pretzel or the rich kind of fattiness of a brat. Really plays nicely with the Märzen style lager. A little bit darker here. You're going to have a little bit more of that copper, caramel, chewy toffee flavor from the malt, which is really nice and refreshing when it finishes crisp and clean. It's not a sweet beer, but it kind of gives you some of that flavor profile. So again, a very drinkable beer. Goes great with all these foods. Very festive and fun beer. So again, when you're judging Oktoberfest, I think you do worse to compare any of your favorite Oktoberfest to the Paulaner. We have it in singles, 6-packs, and 12-packs. So depending on how confident you are, you can always try a Paulaner. You can try both of these. We
Yeah.
have them both.
And a stein would hold about 3 of these, wouldn't it?
A liter stein. You got just south of 12 ounces on there, so yeah, you could fit a few in your party mug if you wanted to do that. But a lot of great time to get outside. Again, enjoy these kind of traditional foods. And again, I always say there's a reason for these parties, why they become popular, because it's a great beer. It's a fun kind of culture to embrace it and try different things from. So I would encourage people to check out these traditional styles as well as the various different new craft styles we're seeing locally.
Yeah, so get on out, get yourself some pretzels, some Wurst sausages, and then come on down to Elevated Beer, Wine, and Spirits. We've got 2 different varieties of Paulaner Oktoberfest beers, as well as a myriad of other Oktoberfest beers that you can fill a cooler with and have yourself your own little Oktoberfest in your own backyard. Come down and see us, Elevated White Bear Lake. We also have a location in South Minneapolis. Cheers.
Cheers.
I had to. It's Oktoberfest, dude.